and welcome back to the Ghost Rider vlog. Isn't that right, Chuckles? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 57th issue of Ghost Rider from the original run. This one in particular is titled Where Walks the Apparition. Looking back at the cover here really quick, by the way, we see some really nice artwork actually, some really nice strong stuff. A really good Ghost Rider. Our villain, the Apparition, is shown both in his physical form as well as his upcoming pseudo-ghost form. While this doesn't exactly happen in the book, it's still a nice bit of artwork, and I will say, as a matter of fact, the stuff happening in the foreground makes up for the fact that there's really no background to this particular piece. But what we will be having is an actual ghost fighting with the Ghost Rider, so buckle in for that story really quick here. So, apparently, still working on the whole eventual Fargo fight thing. Johnny's trying to take up a job doing some more stunt work, wherein he hopes to get a lot of practice in so he can be better prepared for Fargo and possibly finally take him this time. Also trying to do his best not to pent up his rage on Fargo. However, wherever he seems to go, more rubbish about Fargo seems to pop up, and it's kind of getting on his nerves. However, he does manage to find a job, and after doing several stunts for them, they finally decide to pick him up rather quickly. They go to a bar to start drinking their worries away and take a break for the day. However, as they're doing so, they realize that one of their previous members, a stunt car driver named Shocker, nicknamed Shocker rather, is trying to get his... They realize he's going down the final mile, if you will. He's going to be taken to the electric chair. He is also wearing the costume he used to wear while doing his stunt driving, which has a nice lightning bolt, hence shock. But they are going to send him to the electric chair and kill him, but he has vowed to come back, and that the suit was apparently made by a witch doctor, and that she apparently promised him that even if he died, he would come back as an apparition. Sure enough, they put on the electrocution, and he dissolves and becomes a glowing ghost made of partially electricity. He flies off through the roof and heads off to try and seek his vengeance. Upon which he finds Johnny in the car of one of the characters he's trying to get revenge against, and blows up the car. Thankfully, Johnny turned into the Ghost Rider in time to not die. This also means he survived long enough to tell the others what happened, and they start telling the story while the person that Shock thought he killed runs off. They tell him the whole background story, that he apparently switched out the steering wheel shaft of a vehicle for one of the other stunt drivers, and that if they would have thought ahead of time, they would have realized he switched the steering wheel shaft with the car for that particular driver, and that it caused his death. However, in hindsight, they realize, 2020, what happened here, and quickly accuse him of murder and have him put away to eventually see the chair. The apparition appears again, trying to seek vengeance on the last two. However, Ghost Rider only thinks that it's Sonny that he's after, the head of this particular group of stunt drivers. And he manages to become the rider yet again, and dodges in just in time to stop them, and uses his hellfire to protect them and scare off the apparition as he's losing power every second he's near the hellfire. So he dissolves, and Johnny also has to take his normal mortal appearance again in order for the others to understand that he's perfectly fine, but also under the realization that he's probably going to lose his job. However, Nora, the only female stunt driver there, not only thanks Johnny, but also says that she's not letting him go right now because not only does he need the job, but also they need him in order to protect them from the apparition yet again. So the next morning, Johnny fakes to be Sonny in his next car stunt, and thankfully becomes Ghost Rider just in time again in order to survive a crash. According to the spirit, however, there was 2 more to kill after Sonny, and he realizes that as he's washing up after the whole incident, and realizes that not only was he and Sonny part of that now expanded list of people to attack, but also Nora, and he realizes this too late as he's almost to her trailer only to hear her scream. So she is dead, apparently, as of this attempt, and letting completely loose, the Ghost Rider takes over and goes on a rampage, finally destroying the apparition while doing a huge long jump over the apparition itself and dissolving it and landing safely, actually, afterwards. So the Ghost Rider is victorious, however, Nora is deceased and Johnny is extremely distraught. Yet another woman who he kind of got close to in the little time that they had, and completely destroyed now. So in ends our little one-shot with the apparition. Will the apparition come back? Who's to say? Maybe he will. An interesting character nonetheless. Sadly, according to the end of this book at least, it seems that Nora has passed on, killed by the apparition. So the apparition has very few reasons to come back other than maybe chase after Johnny Blaze himself. But for now, this seems to be the end of this story, so we will see where the practice for Fargo goes from here. Maybe he'll find some other group to travel with for a while. Maybe he'll stick with Sonny, even though all of this had to suddenly happen to them. But we will see next week, and I will retell to you how things go. So, I will see you all then.